Welcome back. It's your best friends. It's Austin, and
It's Sean.
that's him right over there. How you
That's
doing, man?
me. Pretty good. How about you?
I am good. We spent a whole week up in Dayton, Ohio for WGI World Championships. And that's going to be
Yes.
the heavy. Whoa, my cat just is not graceful and almost fell over. She tried to jump into a chair, and that's what that noise was. She might jump up on the table in a sec. We get to see her.
Okay.
Oh, she's up there. Let's
Oh,
see if
I'm
she
sure.
makes
I'm
an
sure.
appearance.
One of my cats will make an appearance as well. I got a Tika sleeping over
Can't
there and
wait.
a cricket wandering.
Dude, we both have two cats. I never thought that would happen, literally
That's
ever,
pretty
to be totally
crazy.
honest.
It's
Like if
crazy
you
how
asked me
quickly it
5 years
happened
ago,
between the two of us.
it's true. Four cats, that's a lot of cats. All right,
It's a lot of
anyway,
cats. Um,
we were up in Dayton, Ohio. Oh, before we do anything, we didn't make a video of it, but we got
oh
some
yeah,
Grader's ice cream.
we did.
Okay, so there was an episode at some point in the past where we were talking about best ice creams, and we didn't even mention this company, Grader's, who makes ice cream. And I believe they're
Yes,
like Ohio native.
we had somebody comment. You like nobody mentioned graders, which we decided that we had to try it when we go to Dayton. So yeah, it's Ohio native.
Yeah, I thought it was good. We didn't compare it side by side to any other of the top brands that we said, but I would say it is in contention for the top five. We're gonna have to do like a whole out taste test
Yes.
with some big
Like
dog
Haagen
ice cream.
Dazs and
Definitely
yeah.
Haagen Dazs, definitely Graders, probably some Ben and Jerry's or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I've always loved graders. I grew up in Ohio and graders like they have an ice cream shop, which
Yeah.
actually one year when we went to Dayton, I think it was in 15, our group actually went to graders like after one of the performances or something
Mm,
to get some ice cream.
nice.
But
I had never
yeah,
heard of
always
it.
been a top in my mind.
Had to try it when we were in Ohio though. I think it's good. Top five. We'll
It's
do a whole
delicious.
taste test.
Yes, we
Anyway, that was
should.
not the point of the week. The point of the week was WGI Finals, where like a gajillion groups come to Dayton, Ohio to perform at a few different arenas, but the big dog arena is University of Dayton Arena, and then also Northern Kentucky University, Hobart Arena, and I don't know if the Nutter Center is used anymore or not, but I think it is. So
Okay.
some of those, and Miami University sometimes is used, not Miami, Florida, Miami University in Ohio.
Yeah.
So anyway, we teach a group called Paradigm Percussion in Independent Open class, Percussion Independent Open. And do you have like a screenshot of final scores, Sean? If you want to
Yeah, I got
share
those
that, pull that up.
pulled up.
We did a recap last year of 2022, just kind of talking about our thoughts. So we're gonna do the same type of recap this year.
Yeah,
And
you
of
see
course, we'd
this?
start with our own group. I can see that. So let's just run it down in open class. Marakai or Meraki, I don't know. Impact, Freedom. I think Freedom is the only one of those three that got a medal last year. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's true.
I thought Impact did
I don't
too.
think
Maybe
so.
not. Maybe not.
I think they were in like 10th.
Oh, it's Freedom, Civ, and
Infinity 2.
Infinity 2. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So only one of the same medalists from last year. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Civitas, Carolina group in fourth. Q2, also an East Coast group in fifth. It's good to see. Sixth was Bakersfield College. They've been around for freaking ever. They're great. United Percussion 2, they have a world class counterpart, United. I'm sure you've heard of them. They've been around for forever. I think that's United 2's highest placement ever in open. So they had a great year.
Yeah.
Spartans indoor. They have an outdoor as well. Spartans has a drum and bugle corps outdoor. So
It was
I
actually
was,
curious if those were affiliated. I didn't
yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah.
Sick.
Vision, dude. I think some version of Vision has been around for a long time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it has the same name, but I think even like back in 14, there was an Arizona group that has like the same staff. Don't quote me. I'm sure
Okay.
someone knows. If you're watching, let us know. Cap City 2, they have a world class counterpart as well, which is just Cap City.
They got
And
top
then,
15. They're the world class
yes, they
counterpart.
did.
So did
They did.
United.
So did United, yes. And so did Q2. Q2 also has
Yes.
a world class. So that's three twos in there. Anyway,
Yes.
Paradigm is the group we teach, 88.025, 11th place in open finals. So that felt really good to be back in the the finals conversation and
It was a historic
making it
year for
all the way
us.
to the end. It
I mean,
was
it's our first time making finals in open class. Paradox had
in
like
open
a
class.
up and down history. We were in A class for a while. We made finals. Then we got bumped to open class. Had some struggle years. Went down to A class. Had some awesome years. We were making
Yeah,
finals pretty consistently. And
and a
then we had
medal.
yeah. And then we didn't get bumped. We decided to go to open class, right?
Yes, we chose
And
last year to go to open class.
yeah, and we made semifinals, but did not quite make the cut for finals. And this year is the first year that we made finals, so that's super sick.
Yes, and it was a very young battery, like only two vets in the whole battery. So there's a
Yes,
lot of like new
yeah, young
faces,
from an
new blood.
experience
Yeah,
perspective,
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
age.
sorry. Young, yeah, young to me just means you haven't done it that often. You can be 22 and young
Mm-hmm.
by that definition. Resistance after that, Crossroads, Matrix Open, which has a world class counterpart, and then Motor City. They also got 15th last year, so they made finals 2 years in a row there.
That's right.
Motor City, their show last year was super cool. I didn't see their
They
show
did the
this
Blue Man Group, right?
year. Yeah, it was wild, dude.
Pretty cool.
I was surprised that they got 15th last year. I thought that was too low, but I'll keep my opinions to myself for Independent Open. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. And now let's move on to the big dogs
Well,
in
at
world
least
class.
just to mention it, I don't know too many of these groups, but this is the Scholastic Open Class Finals, and Clover got gold again. So well
Yes.
done, Clover.
So last year they got gold in Scholastic A. This year they got gold in Scholastic Open.
Yes.
So that's nice. And then another group that's on there in 13th, 96 high
Yep.
school. We have a member
Whoops.
who teaches that high school and went to that high school in Paradigm. So that's good. He made open class finals twice in one day. Isn't that crazy? He made open class finals
That's
as
pretty crazy.
a instructor for the 96 high school as staff, and then he made open class independent as a member with Paradigm. So that's pretty
Well
interesting.
done. Well done to him.
Very well done.
Disclaimer to anybody who's listening who is not interested in drums, that's probably what most of this episode is going to be about. So if you came here for
Oh yeah, high majority.
hot takes, well, let me back up.
We'll give some
You
hot
might get
takes
hot
in world
takes,
class.
but they're not drum related. You came to the wrong episode. All right, so let's start with Scholastic.
Let's do Scholastic. Yeah. All right, I gotta say that I'm very all right. Let's start at the bottom. So Petal High School, I was told by a friend who teaches there. We marched together that this is Petal High School's last year, maybe not ever, but at least for a very long time. So I
Really?
think Petal, yeah, I think Petal has made Scholastic World Finals for like 8 or 9 years in a row. Don't quote me, but somewhere around there, 8 or 9 years in a row. They've produced some beasts out of that high school, and they've had a lot of success over the years, especially being from where they are. Like Mississippi is not necessarily known for being beasts at band. If you just check this out, almost everyone is California, the Midwest, or Texas.
Yeah.
There's really no one from anywhere other than that. Sparkman, impressive, Alabama. Broken Arrow from the Texas area. Oklahoma's right above Texas. And then Petal, Mississippi. Everybody else, Ohio, or sorry, I shouldn't say Ohio. I should say Midwest area,
Yeah.
Texas, California. Those are the spots where band is really good. So impressive that they have been able to do that so many years in a row.
So are they just deciding to stop an indoor program?
Well, I think the directors are all leaving.
Oh, okay. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's more to the story, but I don't know the details. There was going up the list. Congrats to everyone that made this, but I'm just looking at ones I know. Sparkman High School, or sorry, not Sparkman, Fort Worth, Texas, Boswell High School. There was a lady who was working WGI, like doing the curtains, like to let groups in and out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She had a daughter, I think, or son in Boswell High School, and she like followed us around because our show was about coffee, and we like it was a very entertaining show, and it was cool, it was fun, it was like feel good, and she loved the show. So she got to see Paradigm every single time we performed prelims, semis, and finals. And like me and her were talking back and forth. We were talking about how Boswell was doing. She also has friends in like Monarch and Vigilantes, which are Texas groups down there. So yeah, that's cool to see the name there. I just like I'm always going to keep her
Shout out.
face in my I know.
Was
I'm always
she
gonna keep her
helping
face in my
in
brain.
Truist? Like when we were in that
Yes,
arena? Okay, I think like somebody said something to me on our way in, like "Welcome back!" Like super excited to see us back. I was wondering if that was her, because I don't know who you're talking about. But now that you're
that
like
was her.
mentioning this moment, like
Yeah,
I think it was her. So
it was. It
super cool.
was very cool. I agree. Awesome. Cool. Going up the list, Broken Arrow, always a good high school.
Yes.
Dartmouth.
Yeah. Let's
I
talk about
believe
Dartmouth.
I haven't gone back to the archives, but I think this is the lowest score ever, or not score, placement ever for Dartmouth.
I I think
If
you're
not,
right.
it's really close or tied with it,
Yeah.
like lowest ever. So that's kind of unfortunate to see. I liked the show. I thought there were some like lulls, like some somewhat boring areas in the show. And I also
Yeah.
thought it got a little bit repetitive. Like there was a lot of sameness as I went through the show. And specifically with the things that were exciting. All the things that were exciting seemed the same in each movement. They have a really beastly drum set player, but pretty much playing the same thing every single time. It's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like after the first time you see it, it's like cool. And then the second time he goes off and starts wailing and going crazy, which is very impressive. But it's like substantially less impressive the second time. And then by the third time, you're like, all right, cool. I saw this twice already in the 7 minute span. I'm not saying it's not sick, but sounds the exact same.
Yeah, it felt kind of like like in terms of Dartmouth shows, kind of a little bit flatter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like when I watch a lot of the Dartmouth shows, they're always good at like you're directing your attention to a new gimmick that is
Yeah.
within the gimmick that is their show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and this year it just felt like kind of like, Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, like
Yeah.
kind of over for 6 minutes.
True.
It was enjoyable. Like it wasn't a bad show by any means. It was very good. But I kind of understand the placement
Yeah, I
in
think I do
comparison to
too.
some of
I
the
didn't
other
see
groups.
Center Grove or Vista Moretta,
Me
but
neither. Or I saw Center Grove. I didn't see.
I was very surprised, especially with the scores here. Chino was in first. Chino Hills was in first, and then they got beat by Ayala. But that's a big jump that Ayala made, or maybe a big drop that Chino made. I will say, in comparison to other Chino Hills iterations, they definitely didn't play as well than as other years that I've seen. I thought the show was kind of cool, but I don't think they were as clean, and this is a execution based game, so I think Ayala probably should have. I think they deserved it.
It's the second year in a row, right? Didn't Ayala get gold last year?
No, Avon got gold last year.
That's right. You're right. They did
Yep.
the boxing show.
Yeah, that show was sick as hell.
Yeah, that was a sick show.
That was badass. Got any thoughts on Scholastic World other than the ones we already went through?
Um, Not really. Isn't Vista Moreto like a newer name? That was a name that I saw that didn't like I didn't recognize it.
I don't think it's necessarily new. I think they haven't been great for a while,
Okay.
but I think
That's
they
what I
had
was
a history
thinking.
back in the day of being beasts. But yeah, they
Okay.
kind of broke through this year all the way up to
Yeah.
fourth,
I was gonna
seemingly out of nowhere.
I was gonna say like they kind of had a Broken City from 2016 moment where they were just kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
like who is this? Like suddenly in fourth place. So
came out
good
of
job
nowhere.
to Vista Moreta High School because that's pretty sick. I saw their name and I was like, I don't know who this is, but I want to see them. Um,
Yeah,
so well done. And Chino Hills, yeah, I agree with your comment about Chino Hills. Not my favorite iteration of uh Chino Hills. And I
yeah,
thought I was gonna say, good job Ayala for winning gold twice in a row, but I thought apparently that's not the case.
that is not the case. Avon was last year.
Anyway, shall we take a look at the independent world class?
Yes, yes. First of all, let's talk about the. Is your face covering Vigilante's score right there, or
My
no?
my face.
Oh, maybe it's just on my
Yeah,
thingy.
I think it's just on your thing.
Okay, so at the bottom, Vigilantes had some electronic issues. That's why they are
Oh
down, looking
yeah,
really low at 80.9.
that's right.
They got a big timing penalty, but they didn't want to go without having their electronics so they could have a good finals run, which I agree with.
Yeah.
So
I will
yeah, they just
say
had to
there
take
were
the
a
penalty.
lot of technical difficulties in independent finals this year. I don't know how much you were inside this year, but it
Decent amount.
looked Like, I think Vigilantes had an issue. I think AQ maybe had an issue. Matrix may have had an issue. There was a lot of like waiting around at the beginning of a couple of these shows.
Dang.
That I was like surprised about. I don't know. I don't know if it was just big like coincidence or if WGI was just not as prepared for the electronics this year. I will say Matrix's like electronics situation was gnarly in comparison to other groups. They had like a bunch of lights. They had a whole VJ set on the left side of the floor. Like they had people that were like clicking PowerPoints because they had like a screen in the background and somebody doing all the
Yeah,
lights and stuff. So
kind of wild.
yeah. Anyway,
Well, let's go bottom to top, I guess.
yeah.
Vigilantes, I think this is their first time making independent finals, independent world finals, excuse me. They were an open class group for a long time, went up to world like a decent amount ago, and now have broken into the world class finals. Cap City, they're always pretty dang solid. It's like in their backyard, Columbus, Ohio. What a dream.
Yeah, true. And
Connexus,
Connexus.
yep. And then, man, we were wrong. I said Atlanta Quest was not going to make finals. They made finals and they broke 90. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So they're back up there. Last year they had an off year. They took a risk. It didn't work out for them. They didn't make semifinals. They just did prelims, and now they are back in finals. So that's cool to see.
Pretty slanging baseline that you
Yeah,
mentioned.
dude, they were kind of unreal. Like one of the best baselines I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to you. PAL, I am always very underwhelmed with PAL. I think their shows are well written, but they seem like open class shows to me, almost always.
What was their show again this year?
This guy was like going crazy, and then he got like
Oh,
medicated.
Asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did
basically
not like how
Asylum.
that show ended.
Yeah, I didn't really like the
That was
show much
cheesy.
at all. I understand the show. I get what's happening, which I can't say for all the world class shows because they're kind of like a little bit out there sometimes. But
Yeah.
it does seem like an open show to me, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but it seems like they get more respect than maybe they should because they're connected to Pulse, which whatever.
Yeah.
Next was George Mason. So shout out to a buddy of ours and a student of Paradigm and a private student of mine and someone that you marched with many times. Evan Poff was on the quad line at Mason this year. I loved the show. I thought it was hilarious.
It was so enjoyable to
Uh,
watch.
it was very enjoyable to watch. It was really, really funny. When they were drumming and they were slapping and they were slaying, and it was really cool. But it was really lighthearted and had some cool moments. And one of those moments was Slim Shady, the song. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? So that was pretty sick. It was cool to watch.
Yeah.
Also, really good to watch Evan.
I think that may have been my favorite show to watch this year. It was just the most enjoyable. Like I was skeptical when I heard the theme of the show. I never watched any videos of it. I didn't think when I heard it, I didn't think it was sounded like a world class concept, but it actually like performed very well in world class. That was very good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's fun to watch. I did not like Matrix's show whatsoever
No,
at
I
all.
didn't.
Personally,
Not.
I thought it was not good. I don't agree with the ninth place score. I don't agree with. I don't agree that they played better than the groups that they were above. I don't agree that their show is better than the groups they were above. Fully disagree with the placement for Matrix. No disrespect, just my opinion. I'm surprised Monarch got that high. I thought Monarch was pretty dirty. Did you see Monarch?
Trying to remember what their show was. They have like
It,
the blue floor.
blue floor with the
Yeah.
dots.
Yeah, they were pretty underwhelming, I felt like.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they got a 93
Yeah.
and eighth place.
Everyone was talking about I remember when I was outside watching someone's lot, somebody came up to me and said that their lot was heat. So maybe it was
Yes, Monarch's lot is absolutely beast, amazing. It's quite the show.
yeah. But yeah, the show itself I was kind of underwhelmed with and I didn't think they were particularly clean.
Yeah,
In comparison to the competitors around them. Like I think maybe GMU and POW could be above them.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think POW should be above them. Now that I'm looking at it, it seems kind of accurate. I don't know. Mason wasn't amazingly clean either, so
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess I can see Monarch at ninth or eighth. I meant, sorry.
Yeah.
United at seventh. I believe they were in sixth last year. Dropped to seventh this year. I liked their show. I thought it was a little bit out there, like the powers that be, kind of like a bunch of hidden meanings, it seemed like. I don't know if all of them landed. That said, I think they had one of the cleanest snare lines in world class, and I believe they got third or fourth in hands. So they were good. I always like to watch United. I like how they drum. I like how they tune their drums. I like their shows. So I enjoyed United again this year. I liked last year's show better than this year, but this year was still
Yeah, I
pretty cool.
agree with that. MCM.
Yeah. So they're in sixth. This is their fall from the top five.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, I didn't think it would ever happen. But I did tell a good friend of ours who is affiliated with the organization. I was like, I don't know, man. This show seems like it could be the one to either get a gold medal or see Mystique fall from the top five. And they were like, yeah, well, I think it's gonna be a medal. I think it's gonna be a gold medal. They were very high on it. I was like, I don't know. I'm split between the two. I think it's gonna be one of the two. And unfortunately, by a decently large margin, 0.7 points, fell from the top five to Infinity.
I thought the execution of that show wasn't as mystique as it could have been. I think it could have been a really cool show, but yeah, I don't know. That, and I didn't think they were like particularly clean, like outrageously clean, but yeah, they also had a moment with the drum set player where they like rolled him onto the floor, and I thought that was going to be way more of a moment than it was. He played like a 2-bar solo where like his drums were sampling something, and then that was kind of the end of it. But like they did a whole thing where they rolled him out onto the floor.
Copy of a copy part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Not my favorite music, not my favorite MCM show, that's for sure. I unfortunately think that sixth place is deserved for this year. Well, actually, at least from a like concept standpoint, I think I might like it more than Infinity's show.
Yeah, I liked Infinity's show a lot though.
I think I liked MCM's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a toss-up. They were definitely very different.
Yes, they were very different. They had like the writing, like they were writing on all the like props and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Broken City was Broken City.
All right, let's get to my least favorite group. Yeah. Number 4, I don't agree at all. When you are in world class, independent world, and the first thing that one of your battery subsections plays is as dirty as what they played, I don't think you can be top 5. That's all I'll say about that. I also don't understand like why they do the show concepts they do and why and how what they do relates to the show concept. I always just assume that I'm just too dumb or something to figure it out. But like, what was with all the spinning around? Like, is that their thing now? Like, did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Literally at like every 3 seconds, random, and all of the time.
Oh,
all right,
wait.
Nice.
Did it kick off? Okay.
No, it's recording. We're good.
Sick.
Okay, we had a little technical difficulty, but we're back. We're gonna stitch these 2 videos together.
Yep.
We were on Independent World.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, we were on Broken City. You were talking about their spinning.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They're spinning. They spin so much, dude. I don't know if it's like it must be part of the show concept, but it was called Self. I don't, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope indoor moves away from the Broken City thing. This is the first time that they've had the name Broken City and not gotten a medal. So that's promising that we're moving away from the whole Broken City era. There was also a group that is also in world class now called Thesis, who has some beasts on that battery, who had a very similar written show to Broken City, very, very, very similar style. They got completely disrespected in terms of scores. So, I'm hoping that the Broken City thing is on the way out. We're going to actually go back to real good shows again.
Yeah,
Once again, just my opinion.
I agree. I think a lot
Um,
of groups are trying to like mimic it too, like even outside of world class. Like a lot of the open class and A class groups try to like model that kind of writing, and I feel like it's just kind of
yeah. Did you see the little
overplayed.
shots thing they had in their opening segment? It was like maybe 2 minutes into the show.
Maybe
It's so cringe.
I can't remember off the top of my head. It sounds like a classic Broken City thing
It is. It is.
though.
Okay, going up to the medals. Okay, Rhythm X, RCC, and Pulse were in the top three for world class. So that's bronze, silver, and gold.
I think I agree with all
This
these.
is Pulse's second time in a row winning gold. RCC jumped a bunch. I think they were in fourth last year. Now they're in second, back to medal territory. They've always been absolute G's.
Big jump in points between X and
Yes.
RCC.
Yeah, that is a huge jump. It was a very clear 1 and 2 to the judges, apparently.
Yeah.
Two California groups, three California groups in the top four. Wild. And then from Dayton, Ohio was Rhythm X, and their show was very different this year. So I wouldn't consider it a typical X show. They had like a movement line. It was called Unspoken. They had a movement line who, what I saw it as is like the movement line did the body that the battery would have done to get the show concept across. But instead of the battery doing it, the movement line did it. I don't know. I don't think it was that like inventive of a concept. I didn't like the show. I thought the beats were cool. I thought the snare break was cool. I thought the snare line was pretty good. Not a fan of the show. What about you?
Uh, I liked the show. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought the way they did some of the stuff that they did was pretty captivating. Like they started out the show with this big tarp over like the whole ensemble that was like exactly the same as the floor. And the whole beginning of the show just like slowly just this blob moved across the floor and like spit members out. And it's pretty cool. It's cool to watch from multiple different angles. So I was close to the floor when I watched it live. And I thought from that perspective, it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But like you can kind of see behind the curtain a little bit of everything that's happening. And then I went back and watched not the whole thing, but like the first couple minutes of the multicam. And from up top, dude, it looks super cool. That whole beginning movement where like members are getting slowly spit out. And I thought that was really sick.
I'll have to watch the multicam. Maybe it'll change my mind.
Um, I think I agree with everything else that you said about the beats. I thought the beats were classic X beats. I thought they were really hard, really dense, and I thought they were pretty clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I agree with all of the top three ranking. Although I think I enjoyed RCC of the top three. I think I enjoyed RCC's performance the most.
I
Did you
thought
hear?
RCC's show was super cool.
Yeah. Did you see that their third base broke her leg?
Did she actually break her leg?
I think she did.
I thought it was just hurting. So they pulled her up the hill with like on a stretcher or whatever.
Oh, maybe.
So
I heard
she
that it
is
was
from our
broken.
area. Her name's Ann Saber, and she moved out to California for her age out. She marched Mason for at least a few years, and I think marched some Carolina groups at some point. But like her boyfriend is plays quads out there, so she went to RCC for her age out. But yeah, she had a pretty nasty fall in the opener of their show. And yeah, it took her a sec to get up. I thought she was gonna be down for the
She
count.
was limping for the rest of the show.
I was scared, so that's kind of scary. I don't know if she broke her leg,
Yes.
but hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
Super unfortunate. I remember someone broke their ankle in like 2015 on in finals. That shit was crazy to watch.
Oh, jeez.
Um, I thought Pulse's show was very entertaining. I mean, I like the concept of Pulse shows 99% of the time. And I also like the execution. It's always pretty dang entertaining. It's very theatrical and it's extremely well produced. And transitioning from one moment to another, one segment to another, one idea to another is always so seamless. And they're amazing at writing shows. I can't hate on what Pulse does. I don't think they're always the cleanest group, but I do almost always think they're the most well produced group. RCC close second, if not perfectly tied in terms of production value this year and cleanliness. Um, I do think RCC moves better than Pulse. That's just my personal opinion. I, in general, think RCC has the best visual package in the game,
Yeah,
like most years.
I think I agree. It's just different stylistically. I don't even know if it's necessarily like better or worse. I think RCC's might be more appealing though. I think it's just like different stylistically. Um, I I didn't love Pulse's show this year, especially when I compare it to past Pulse years. It's definitely not my top Pulse show. But that being said, like just generally looking at all of Independent Worlds, I didn't these were not like my favorite shows from any of these groups, in my opinion. Like, um, yeah, I thought it was fun watching everybody, but I definitely thought like, it's not my favorite X show. It's not my favorite RCC show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I would say all of the top nine, it was not my favorite show of any of those top nine groups. I've
Yeah,
seen way cooler Matrix shows, seen cooler Monarch shows. I liked United's show last year in comparison to this year a lot better. I even liked Mystique's show last year a lot better than I did this year. I
yeah.
love Come Hell or High Water. That show was badass,
That
dude.
show is sick.
I've heard a lot of
Um,
people give it some hate. I don't know why, but I loved it.
Maybe we could do a if we get enough patrons that are interested, we could do like choose a couple of shows and we could do like commentary over it. Just like watch some of our favorite
Oh, that'd
shows
be
and talk
dope.
about it.
That'd be
That'd
great.
be fun.
Or just have them send us a show and then
Yeah,
we
there you go.
about it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like
So
that.
if you're
Say what we like about
interested,
it, what we don't like about it. If you're
yeah,
interested, go
exactly.
on to the Patreon
Go on the
and
Patreon.
become a patron and then go ahead and ask us and we'll do it.
Yes, gladly. Yeah,
I think it was
that's
kind of a down year for World in terms of show concept.
I agree. Yeah, I
I don't
definitely
know.
think
I don't know why I feel that way. It's just less wowing.
I kind of felt that way last year too, but I kind of thought that about everybody. And I just kind of had this thought of like, it was the year after all the COVID stuff went down and we are just getting back into it. I was like, it's going to like pick back up the next year, like full swing. I thought it was better than last year, but I didn't think it was that much better. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was much better than last year.
Yeah,
Last year was the year of the super age outs because there were 24-year-olds marching.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
it made the cleanliness factor a lot better.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. Call me old, but I just feel like I feel like 5, 10 years ago, groups were a lot cleaner. That said, probably 5, 10 years ago, beats were easier too.
That's probably true too.
But, you know, we got to decide like where do we decide that it's hard enough?
Yeah. I'm also curious to know like, feel like in previous years, it felt like every year there was some show that was like pushing the envelope in terms of like coolness when it comes to like the show concept or coolness when it comes to props. I feel like that doesn't feel like that's
Oh,
slowed.
yeah. What about last year? I don't think there was any last year that pushed that.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think there was anything last year. I don't even remember most of the shows from last year.
Oh, last year Infinity's clock show was badass, dude.
Don't
And
remember it.
specifically, there was a movement where they played a segment forward and then they did the whole thing backwards, including the body and the choreo.
I like that.
Holy shit,
That's
dude! One of the
cool.
coolest moments I've ever seen in world class.
That's pretty sick.
It was fucking unbelievable.
I didn't like Pulse's
I
show
loved it.
last year either. I really liked X's show last year. It was a very standard X show though.
It
It
was
wasn't my favorite, but it
standard
was
X.
like X for sure.
Yeah, they played
Um,
Fortissimo for the entire closer for 2 minutes straight and got a
a lot of
silver medal.
screaming. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of screaming.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I felt the same thing. I walked out of the world champ Champs on Saturday, and I was just kind of like, no one wowed me, you know.
Yeah. Maybe you're just getting old.
Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe that's the product of getting old.
I think.
I
Well, let's
also
think. What's
noticed
the
that
last
like
show that wowed you? How about that? What's the last show that you were like, damn? Was it last year? Was it before COVID? Like what? When was it?
I think it was before COVID. I think like the most memorable that like sticks in my head. Well, there are a handful. I think Broken City's Spine show in 2017
Yep.
was amazing, like a
I agree.
masterpiece. I thought
I agree.
the beats were amazing. I thought they were very clean. I thought visually it was super appealing. The show was cool. Um, everything about it, I loved it. I thought 2017 was like a good year for shows in general.
Hand of Man,
Hand of Man. Uh,
Spine.
I didn't like how they played, but I liked Pulse's show. They did
What
the
was supposed to show?
they did like the haunted house situation where they
Uninvited.
had the family. Yeah, that's right, the uninvited. I like
That was
that
the
show
top
a
three,
lot.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What was X's show that year? 2017.
Oh, I don't think that was their like tribute show. That was a down year for X.
Yeah,
They got like
yeah,
sixth or
sixth.
fifth or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. What was 18 then?
Broke. Mm,
It was okay. No, it was the All the World's a Stage 2018, I think.
yeah, for X, you're right.
What was 19 for X? Can't remember, dude.
I don't remember either. All the world's a
Can't
stage.
remember.
I think 19 Broken City was very good too. I
Was that the
think.
one with the guitar?
Yeah.
They won. They won that year in 19.
That's
Dude, who else was good in 19? I can't remember anything from
right.
2019.
I can't remember anything from 18 or 19. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a list of shows.
Yeah, I can't remember 2018 much. Like I can't remember RCC's show. I can't remember Pulse's show. I can't remember shit. I guess that says something.
Yeah.
Maybe it just says that they're just not super memorable. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 2017 was the most memorable year for shows as a unit of a year. Like I think there may be a show in 2018 that I'm like blanking out that was like really good, but just generally across the board, I think 2017 was a good year for shows.
Yeah,
2017, what did Pulse do?
we just talked about it. The Uninvited.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I can't find a list. Maybe we'll have to revisit that.
We will have to revisit that for the Patreon. I can just look up Rhythm X 2018 or 2019. We were talking about, right? 2019. Oh no, 2019 was All the World's a Stage. Dude, what the hell was 2018? 2018.
No, 2018 was All the World's a Stage.
Yeah, I'm tripping. What was 2019 then? Did they do like a similar thing? Because I just looked at 2019 and it looks like, oh, is that box show, dude? What was that? Was it the Doors or no Doors? Oh, dude,
Oh my god! I don't think I ever watched this show. Oh wait, was this the show where they had a snare break in the beginning, but the quads played it or something?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember
Forgot about that.
name. Yeah, I remember it though. There's like a box in the back. Yeah, okay. Damn, it's all coming back to me now. What about RCC that year?
Pulse
RCC
2018 had the violins and stuff.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool. And then RCC 2018.
That was the year they won.
Yes, listen,
They had the
was
trumpet.
18. That's
player.
right.
That was a good
2019.
show.
What did they do in 2019? 19 was He Who Controls the Universe, also called the Spice Show or whatever.
Spice Show.
Spice, where they had the guitar. The Spice. That was interesting. Well, anyway, we're getting super off track.
Yes.
Okay, someone had a question. They wanted to hear your answer to this. So you just aged out last year. You got too old, and now you're geriatric, and you're on staff now. So compare and contrast being on staff versus being a member. What's harder? What's easier? As a whole, which one feels more difficult? Why does it feel more difficult? What's the rundown? What's the lowdown?
I feel like I definitely felt like it was harder than being a member. Um, you have to balance your attention in so many different places, like, and you have to be on 100% of the time. Not to say that you shouldn't be on as a member 100% of the time, but I feel like it's very easy. It's much more of a personal journey as a member. You know what I mean? It's very easy to get into that flow state of like you're working on yourself. I feel like if you're a section leader, or even if you're not a section leader and you're very like on top of your shit, you can start to get to a point during the season where you start to put your attention on other members that need a little bit more of a lift up from another member. But generally, as a staff member, your flow state, I feel like, gets broken much more. You have to like find it again, because one thing will happen that you're expecting, and then one thing will happen that you're not expecting, and like whatever you planned usually goes out the window, and you have to focus your time on this. So it's a lot less directed. You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of dictate what you're spending time on based on the moment, and not based on any kind of planning or based on anybody who's guiding the ship, unless it's full ensemble and full battery.
Yes.
So that's why I think it's more difficult than being a member. That being said, I loved it. I loved it a lot. I thought it was super fun to be able to teach where I marched.
It's
And
badass.
yeah, it's super sick. It's super rewarding. At the end of the season, I was just like, Jesus, like it's crazy that we got to this point.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question to the extent
I think that answers
that
the
he
question.
that he wanted.
So to summarize it, do you feel like there are a lot more pivots as a staff member, and it forces you into different thought processes that you didn't know you were going to have to go through, and you're more of a constant problem solver than when you're a member?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're a member, you're kind of in like the ocean, and like the waves are just kind of knocking you where you need to go. But when you're a staff member, you're on a boat in the ocean and you have a destination that you're trying to get to, but the winds are getting like really strong and the waves are getting really intense, and you got to really like know the ship like of the back of your hand to be able to direct it in the direction that it needs to go. And it might not be a straight line path. It's probably going to be like
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a straight line.
whereas when you're a member, you don't really know where you're going, but the waves are just kind of like guiding you along.
Yeah. Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, I
Gotta be
agree.
gotta be quick on your feet.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
in
I
order to
loved
be
it.
effective.
Yes. But I loved it. I want to do it again. And I thought it was very difficult, but in a very good and rewarding way.
Yeah, it's certainly stimulating as hell
Yes, definitely.
in a lot of
Um,
ways.
definitely occupies the brain space all the time outside of rehearsal, and inside of rehearsal. Like I don't know. I feel like when you're a member, you got the blinders on and you don't really realize the impact that as a member you have on the staff. But like, it's so tremendously huge. I'm sure there are some staff members that aren't like this, but like, at least for me, like it was occupying my brain space every day. I was thinking about each of those individuals that I had to teach on the weekend, even though I didn't see them for 5 days in a row. And I'm thinking about whatever they were doing the past weekend, thinking about what I want to hit the upcoming weekend, and like getting stressed and anxious about it. um yeah, I don't know, I care about them a lot. uh
Yeah,
and it's rewarding.
it's a wild thing. It's
it's
hard to
it was it
explain to
was it was
people.
eye-opening is what I'm trying to say. It was eye-opening to be like, oh yeah, like I understand now, like it really affects the teacher a lot.
Yeah,
um
yeah, it does.
and occupies the brain space.
Yeah. Now you know. Now you know.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I want to do it again.
Badass.
um
It's fun.
What are your
Metal next year
takeaways? Yes,
of
yes.
2023.
Yeah.
My personal ones are just from WGI in general.
Personal ones.
My personal ones are that when I have more people around me to help me achieve my goals, it's a lot fucking easier to achieve my goals. So that's number one. It it comes with its own challenges. Like what I'm speaking about specifically is we had a much larger staff this year and a much more present staff this year. So it came with the challenges of making sure that everyone was utilized to the best of the situation. Like, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hey, kitty cat. Making sure everyone was utilized appropriately in a specific moment. And honestly, like making sure that everyone's on the same page. And I'm going to keep that like really vague. And and that's in a lot of different categories: vibe, goals,
I think that
styles of
was, yeah,
teaching.
that was an interesting one to see, like the people who are higher up on the ensemble making decisions. Like, it was interesting to see, like, does everybody understand what the goal of this block is?
Yep.
Seems
Yeah.
like that
So
would be
that
a
was
challenge.
definitely a harder, that was a challenge that presented itself. But, I learned and I got better throughout the season and I'm going to be better next season. But yeah, not a challenge that I was like ready for and like mentally. It was fine when it presented itself, but I just like hadn't thought through it fully. I had thought, oh, this might happen, but I hadn't thought about how to like mitigate it immediately in the moment. But normally the science is just communicating clearly and letting people know as clear as possible what the goal is and why this is the goal and how we're going to reach it. And yeah, and if it doesn't work, then we'll try something else next time. Like we're not stuck in our ways. We're gonna try to figure out the best way.
Adaptable.
Anyway, so that would be my main takeaway. It's a lot easier to accomplish your goals when you have people who are also sharing those goals with you and moving in the same direction as you. Main takeaway, another takeaway was that you can take a really inexperienced group of people and achieve some great things. I knew that that was true, but I had only done it in A class before. So there's three different main classifications: A, Open, and World. I had never done it in Open, and I didn't know if it could be done, but I went for it. We set the goal. We decided what our goal was very, very early on before the season even started, and we went for it, and it worked out. So it is possible to take a very young, in terms of experience, ensemble and achieve great things. So that was cool to see. And then main takeaway from WGI 2023 was that I feel like indoor is alive and well. I was worried like over 2020, 2021, 2022 that it was just gonna like die.
Fizzle
Like
out.
the whole all of WGI was just gonna die. I was wrong. I guess because of people like me and you who like didn't want it to die. We're like, this shit's badass. Let's keep doing it. It's fucking sick. It's so unique. Fills an important role in a lot of people's lives. Like, yeah. So I think it's alive and well. Like there was a lot of groups in World. There was a lot of groups in Scholastic Open. The A class seems to be shrinking, which is weird. But I think it's WGI that's doing that on purpose, which I don't really agree with. But like every group in A class made finals. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, that was a
I
weird year for A
I don't get
class.
it. I don't get it.
Open class was so big too,
Yeah,
ridiculously, like 33 or something.
yeah, somewhere around there. And there were some really good groups that didn't make semis. It's unfortunate. It's hard to pick the right ones. So I know we only talked about the groups that made finals, but everyone did the same type of work, and everyone sacrificed a lot of their fucking time. Whether the group that you march or teach didn't make semis or finals, like still a lot of learning moments. Like we didn't make finals last year, and it was still overall a successful season. Yes, we had a lot of hurdles. Yes, things could have gone better, but we mitigated most of those things, and now here we are.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's my recap 2023.
It's a good year. Excited for the next one.
Yeah, me too.
Gold medal, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready to get a medal.
Let's get it.
And open. We already got the A class medal. Let's get the open class medal.
Let's do it. Racking them up.
Hell yeah. All right, homie. Got any other podcast thoughts for the night?
Well, I have to mention this. I probably should have mentioned it at the beginning, but I'll mention it today. I had my dishwasher break, and that sucked. I got it completely replaced, and then it like wasn't turning on again today. So I called the maintenance people. Maintenance man came in, and he fixed it all like right up, works now. And he looks at my desk setup and my microphone. And he's like, "Man, you do a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do actually." And he said, "What's it
so
called?" And I said,
funny.
"You're best friends." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go listen to that." So if
Dude,
you're
he
listening to
subscribed,
this,
I think. Yo,
wait, really?
I think he subscribed. We're getting
Dude, let's
subscribers.
go.
Oh, also, I cracked my phone more. Look at that.
Oh,
Isn't
that's a
that isn't that
bummer. Nice.
beautiful?
Well done.
I think, speaking of indoor, there was a part in our snare break that was like singles, brr, 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 and then a gawk where I pulled the left hand through. I think my phone is either next to me. There's no way this is true. I hit a gawk on I have like a pearl snare drum, just playing that part, and either it was close enough, and I hit the gawk so hard that it like further exploded the screen that was already exploded, or I hit the phone by accident with the butt of the stick. But
I think that's more likely.
I was so far away. There was so much space in between. I don't remember feeling anything when I pulled my left hand through. Yes, it was very fast. I could have like just barely chanked it, but
Well,
it
I
like
mean, the first
the
one sounds
amount of
cooler.
yeah, it does. The amount of pressure I pull through with, like when I did that, like it would definitely mess up the metal part right here.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing.
Dude,
I don't know,
that's
man.
pretty crazy.
I'm gonna stick with my Gawk exploded my screen story.
That's a pretty good story. I like that story better.
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's broken.
Nice.
Anyway. Hey, you got that video up still? For anyone that's still here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's close it out with this guy.
Make sure you got the sharing with sound.
Yep. All right, do you see this?
I do see this.
All right, Austin sent this to me for the podcast.
Fuck me now!
So good. So good. Let's get that one more time.
Fuck me now! Oh!
All right. Well, I like it. That's a good place to end.
What fucking hell?
Dude, he hit everything on his way down. Jesus Christ.
Dude, that was the perfect timing too. You've seen the one with the deer, right? Going through the little like kitty slide.
No.
Oh my god, no way. Look up deer. Just look up deer Phil Collins. Deer Phil Collins. You'll find it. Show me the thumbnail once you find it. I'll let you know.
In the deer tonight.
Yeah, probably something stupid like that. I don't know what they called it.
Here we go. Is this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is an instant classic.
Dude, no way. Hold on,
Isn't that wild, dude?
He's just walking like it's no problem.
Dude, I like how he just gets up. He's like, "Yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah,
Everything's fine." Oh my gosh,
oh,
yeah, those are great videos. If you made it this far, you know what you need to do. You need to go to the Patreon and become a patron so you can see more shenanigans on the pre-show parties and deep dive coming soon. Once our first patron tells us what he wants to deep dive on, we'll get that deep dive going, and then 5 patrons, Minecraft live stream. Also, we're probably gonna do some WGI show commentaries on there.
Yes, that would be good.
So I can get
And
mad about people spinning around and playing dirty.
yes, we are officially out of WGI season, so our time is a little bit more freed up. So we might do a little bit more in-person stuff. Might do more ranking, trying stuff
Hey,
live. So that'd be fun.
hey,
Hey,
little ice cream, live stream.
little live stream.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
So
Hell yeah. Well, let's wrap it up. It's been
let's
your
do it.
best friends. It's Austin, and
Sean,
that's Sean over there.
we love
We
you.
love you.